number 1805. Air date, July 8th, 69. Now, from Television City in Hollywood, the Red Skelton Hour. With the Tom Hansen Dancers, the Alan Copeland Singers, David Rose and his orchestra. Tonight's special guest star, Pat Carroll, George Appleby. And here he is, Red Skelton.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I feel good tonight. I was over to see the new cars. I'm interested in new cars. See, I want to see what I'm going to get knocked down with this year. Hey, the new car's got all kind of gadgets on it. There's a new invention for the cars that keeps the inside of the car nice and quiet, and it fits right over her mouth. Hey, for the out-of-towners who are in California, we have a new law out here. Any car going over 60 miles an hour must have a driver. Hey, you know, I get a kick out of driving down the freeway. Everybody looks at my car. I've got a Rolls Royce, a 1952 Rolls Royce, and it's got a right-hand drive, you know. You're over here. People say, who's driving, you know? But it's not hard to drive these cars. As a matter of fact, I didn't go over the white line once. Matter of fact, I was only on the highway twice. I plowed into a car, and I kind of said to the guy, it's your fault. You didn't hold out your hand. He says, why should I? I'm parked. One time the officer stopped me, see, and I'm over here on the right-hand side. Now, my wife, Little Red, sitting over here, see. So the officer walks up, he says, can I see your license, lady? She says, I don't have one. He says, well, then you're going to get 2 tickets because you're driving without a wheel, too. Then she really fixed up everything. He took off his helmet and he was bald-headed. See? She says, you must do dangerous work. You wear 2 helmets. But this old car that I got, this old road will pass anything on the road except a filling station. I pulled into this gas station, and the motor is so quiet you can't hear it, so I forgot I hadn't shut it off. So finally the lieutenant came up to me and he said, would you mind shutting it off? You're getting ahead of me now, buddy. Hey, I took Dean Martin for a ride in my car, and we ran out of gas for a substitute. He poured what he was drinking into the tank. It cleaned the windshield, washed the car, and retreaded the tires. Hey, one time I ran out of gas, and I filled the tank with a bottle of Little Red's perfume. And the traffic officer chased me 10 miles just to say, you. Hey, I went down to Texas. I was in Texas driving this big old car, and I picked up a hitchhiker. And I says, where are you going? He says, I'm just looking for work. He says, maybe you could help me out. He says, I haven't a family. I don't have any clothes on my back except what I'm wearing. I haven't eaten for 3 days. All I've got to my name is this 45 I've got pointed at your head. Well, I said a few cuss words, and he says, don't swear. He says, it makes cold chills run up and down my back. I says, well, then don't be around the house when I tell my wife you stole the car. You'll freeze to death, buddy. But you know, Texans are real friendly. I'm walking along, and I come to this farmhouse, see, and there's a girl milking a cow. And just as I walk up, her father sticks his head out the door, and he says, who are you talking to? She says, it's Red Skelton, the television comedian. He says, come in the house and bring the cow with you. You know, Texans talk funny. They got their own language down there. I always thought ratchet was one of those little things that you twirl and make noise on New Year's Eve. But did you know that Ratchet is Nixon's first name? I made it to the next town. I sent a telegram to my wife, and she sent me some money, and I bought another car. Now, a used car, and this sign, another nutty sign at the used car lot. It says, everybody drives a used car. I think I bought the car that everybody used. I start to drive back, and I come to more nutty signs. One of them says, passable but dangerous. I drive about 10 miles further, and the next sign says, progress at your own risk. Third sign says, how in the devil did you get this far? Hey, talking about stealing cars, I would like to do now, if I may, a little short pantomime showing you the way the car thieves used to be. Give me my hat, and then I'll show you the way the car thieves are today. An old-fashioned new car thief and an old car thief. Car thieves of today. Car thieves.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Tom Hansen Dancers in Samba from Black Orpheus.
Quiero vivir, quiero sambar, la 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 la. Quiero sambar, quiero vivir, la 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 la. Quiero vivir, quiero sambar, la 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 la. Quiero sambar, quiero vivir, la 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 la. Si quiser gostar de mim, se quiser vai ser assim. I wanna live, I wanna dance, la 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 la. I wanna live, I wanna dance, la 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 la.
Red Skelton as George Appleby and Pat Carroll as Clara in A Woman's a Rag, a Bone, and a Hank of Mouth.
Clara, your poor mother's starved. Starved, you hear? Dinner will
be served, Mother, as soon as George gets here.
Oh, why do we have to wait for your stupid husband? Can't we start without it?
You forget he cooks it.
I'll never get over you marrying him. Of course, you were young, he was in uniform, and he swept you off your feet.
Yes, but somehow he didn't look like the other street cleaners. Now he promised me security and social standing. Now I'm standing and waiting for Social Security. Oh, good grief, I think he's coming now.
Oh, I got back as quick as I could. I got a ticket on the freeway, sweetie pie, for reckless running. Oh, it's so hot today, I developed a vapor lock. Good heavens, my legs! I've run my legs off.
So what? We don't dance anymore anyway.
Proud of that, ain't you?
No.
Well, thank goodness it's not my legs. I'd miss them. It's my knees that I would really miss because I pray at night for a night out. That's not it, but it's going to have to do.
Will you ask him about cooking the dinner? I'm so hungry I could eat a horse.
Will you tell her she's going to have to be satisfied with a roast? The last time I cooked horse meat, we had leftovers for a year.
George, look, now just get busy. You come over here, you clean the vegetables, you set the table, cook the dinner, serve it, and then I want you to wash up the dishes.
Oh, fine.
Yes, now do up that roast and hop to it.
Okay, Warden. Oh, her and her mother. Old Ironsides. She went swimming down at the ocean and had to scrape the barnacles off of her. Hey, that's real. Put that in the car, buddy.
George.
Hey.
George, what are you doing?
What?
What are you doing? I've got a good memory.
Yeah. That's Japanese tenderizing.
George, what is with this hurry-up dinner? We're not going to the movies tonight.
We don't have to. We've got enough violence in our own home. The reason I'm hurrying, sweetie pie, is because you promised that I could fly to my lodge convention down in Miami.
I'm sorry. I need you here, George. There's some of the other wives dropping over later, and I want you around so they can feel sorry for me.
Let's have dinner now. You can break his heart later. No!
You know, your mother's never been the same since she went on that hunger strike up in Tehachapi. Yeah. Well, I've only got about 5 minutes to get into my lodge outfit and catch the plane for the convention.
You'll get the dinner done first! You'll get the dinner done first!
Boy, I'll tell you, I've got to do everything around here. This is murder. Nobody does anything around here but me. Someday I'll get even with every one of them. We got to... How you think with a budget a show like this they can afford it? War surplus. Say, just to save time, would you mind if we use paper plates?
It's okay by me, George.
All right, yeah.
cents, I'd leave you.
I'll give you 3 cents. Take her along, family plan.
George, baste that meat before I baste you.
Oh, I wish I had my chair and whip. Oh. Where did it go? I think I got it.
George, what in the world is that?
Well, I got a nice buy on the meat, and the butcher told me to keep it under my hat.
George, this is ridiculous. We are not eating a hat.
Well, I know a moth that lived on one for a year.
George, next time you cook your hat, put your head in it.
Yeah. Well, I've only got 5 minutes to get my lodge outfit and off to the convention. Born free.
Clara, do you realize what will happen if you let George go to that convention?
What?
Well, he might get talking to some of the men, and he might find out there are some husbands who don't cook the food, don't clean the house, and don't do their wives' laundry.
Gosh, you mean he might fall in with some left-wingers?
Here I am, a member of the Royal Order of the Golden Goats.
George, the pictures?
Hey, fellas, pictures.
George, do you always butt your head against the wall when you golden goats get together?
Well, when you don't drink at those meetings, you got to do something or you'll go nuts. And besides, it's better than eating tin cans. I forgot my plane ticket.
Well, I am going to fix him.
Bye-bye, Claire. I'll be seeing you. You bent my horn. You bent my horn. Why'd you bent my horn? There he is, girls. Go ahead. Clara, the ocean is beautiful, but it seems strange to see all this water and no dirty dishes in it. This afternoon here in Miami, I saw Jackie Gleason. It turned out to be a blimp. Later in the afternoon, I saw the Goodyear blimp that turned out to be Jackie Gleason.
Aren't you lonesome, handsome?
Yeah, this is the second time that me and my wife didn't go away together. The first time was on the honeymoon. Clara, there are a lot of girls here at this convention. I didn't know that the lodge allowed them to be members.
Oh, sweetie, but you don't seem to be having any fun at all.
No. I feel guilty leaving my wife at home with nobody there to be mean to.
Oh, hasn't your wife ever gone on a vacation and left you by yourself?
No, she always puts me in a kennel.
Oh, I've got a run in my stomach.
think I have one, too.
Oh, why not? You know, Clara, I sure miss you. Every time I think of you, I give a deep sigh.
Okay, girls, thank you. That was very, very nice. Thank you very much,
Thank
ladies.
you, girls. Thank you. You're
Thank
very
you.
kind. Oh, boy.
George, my
I was
friend.
nervous when they were here.
Of course you were.
Yeah.
You know what the trouble with you is?
What?
Your wife has given you an inferiority complex.
No. Hey, it's better no personality at all, though, you know.
George, you're a weak man.
No, yeah, I'm afraid of my wife. That's what it is.
You still got what it takes to attract a woman.
Really?
Yes. You're tall, with a firm, square chin, and you're sexy.
Yeah, that's me.
Good. Now, what are you?
Tall, firm, square chin.
Yes.
Sexy.
Yes.
And afraid of his wife.
George, all you've got to do to prove to yourself that you've got it for women, man, you'll be the boss. And you'll be able to mold your wife.
I don't know. She's pretty moldy as it is.
You've got to convince yourself that you're attractive to women.
I got to do that.
Now, here's the first thing I want you to do.
What do you do?
You walk over to young lady.
Come on, Clara. Your disguise is perfect. This is no time to get cold feet. There's only one way to find out if your husband's faithful to you.
Well, how about giving him a copy of Playboy and see if he turns to the stories first?
No. Another woman. You.
Oh.
That's George now. Oh, now come here. I'll tell you what to do.
Oh, all right.
Look, there's a lovely lady over there. Why don't you go over and talk to her now? Come on, now, get to work.
Oh,
Go
really? I should do that, huh?
Yeah, go there. Yeah, go on now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'll just sneak up on her a little bit.
Oh.
Pardon me.
Oh, I beg your pardon, sir. Did I bruise anything?
Well, I won't find out until I take a shower.
Are you alone?
Well, not really. I'm here with my camera and my fishing pole. I'm going fishing.
Are you doing anything later, handsome?
Yeah, I'm digging worms.
Oh, well, I got something better than going fishing. Now, what do you think of that?
Want to help me dig worms?
Do you know what this means, handsome?
You got a caraway seed in your teeth?
Can't you think of something to do with these two moist lips?
Oh, sure I can. I'll go get the envelope and mail it to my wife.
That was certainly a surprise. George is faithful to you. Oh, come on, we can go home now.
No. Now, Mother, give me my mirror. I am going to stay here with my husband and try to recapture what we never had. Oh, if these eyelashes were any longer, I wouldn't have to wear my shorty nightgown.
Now, you listen to me, daughter.
Hey, that voice.
What?
That voice, it sounds like my mother-in-law. Either that or it's a Florida hurricane blowing up.
Mother, I found out about George, and it is something just horrible.
Good heavens, that's Clara's voice, but it's in somebody else's head.
That is Clara, and she's wearing a brunette wig. You know what she's doing, George?
What?
She's baiting you.
No.
Yes.
You know, I've got George trained like Gentle Ben, but sometimes I wish he were more of a ladies' man.
Well,
Ladies' man, huh? Well, wait till you see what she's gonna get. I'll make her think at Richard Burton's Tiny Tim.
now you remember, Clara, now that you found out that you can trust George, this is the time not to trust him.
I'll get her.
Good luck.
Don't be afraid, stranger. I just want to make mad, violent love to you.
Please, I feel like I've just been through a car wash.
Oh, I forgot to say, may I? I'll have to go back and start all over. That's the way to travel the scenic route. I'm mad about you.
Oh, please, sir. I am true to my dead husband.
How long have you been dead?
Any minute now.
Oh, but you can't resist me. I still have 3 days left on my 5-day deodorant pad. Here, how about some champagne to celebrate our newfound love?
Oh.
You and me.
Oh, but what about your wife?
Oh, let her get her own champagne. Here, sit down, sit down. Oh, here's what we'll do. We'll use your slipper.
Oh!
Boy, what a tight foot you got. It'll hold more, it'll hold more.
Oh, well, I feel so guilty. I mean, stealing your love. What about your wife?
Ah, she can go back to the coal mines.
You think she worked in a coal mine?
Yeah, every time she breathes out, a canary dies. Good heavens, you got open-toed shoes there. There we are. Now, here's to you and me and size 10.5 B. Now I know where my bubble gum went. I got a choke on an olive.
Champagne doesn't have an olive.
I swallowed your corn plaster. Oh, you're so beautiful. Not like my wife.
Well, is your wife pretty or ugly or...
Yeah, that's it. She's pretty ugly.
Yeah.
Just one kiss. One little kiss. You've got to let me kiss you. You've got... Where'd you go? Ah, you little rascal. Come on, let me feel those luscious lips against me. And let me... Aren't you supposed to be tiptoeing through the tulips?
George Appleby, you knew it was me all the time.
Yeah.
You know I'd wring your neck, but I'm saving that for your anniversary present.
Oh, Clara, I was just trying to prove to you that I still have it.
Have what?
I don't know. It's been so long I forgot. I would like to play. I have to play 25 or 30 high-class musical selections. Now, I want everybody just to sit back and relax. We're going to have some soft music here, and you folks down in front, don't worry about those big lights falling on you. I shall play first the refrain from spitting. There we segue into Beethoven's fifth movement from Not Paying the Rent. Dr. Kaplan fell in the well and broke his collarbone. The doctor should attend to the sick and leave the well alone. You can always tell the English, you can always tell the Dutch, you can always tell the Texan, but you sure can't tell them much. It was in a restaurant that they met, Romeo and Juliet. He had no cash to pay the debt, so Romeo'd but Juliet. By the way, I'd like to explain this instrument. This is a helmeted. It's called a helmeted. I play it and you don't like it? No, this is called a gallstone. It's a gallstone? No wonder my grandmother suffered. Well, they operated on her and cut 14 of these things out of her. It's pretty sick, huh? It ain't gonna get well if I keep picking it, I'll tell you. Now a dirty little ditty that I played for the volunteer fireman smoker. Good heavens, I've sprung a leak. I played this in Azusa. It was really in San Francisco, but Azusa usually gets a bigger laugh. I stayed in a lovely hotel over in Azusa, $10 room. For $10, they throw the breakfast in. For $15, they bring it in. I called down and I says to the room clerk, could I have some ice water for 101? He says, you'll have to wait. The man in 602's using the ice cube. Little joint. I says, I've got a leak in my bathtub. You take it from there. I says, does this room have a shower? He says, not since we fixed the roof. I tell you, Vaudeville's dead, and I'm going to ask it to move over. It was a lovely hotel I stayed at in Azusa. The bathroom was out of this world. Which made it a little inconvenient. Hey, hit A for me. Sound A for me. Will you sound an A? A. Sound A. That's close enough. The music's not sad as these strings are cutting my fingers off. Hey, real ham. Never mind iodine, bring me some mustard, will you? My brother invented this harp. He does all kind of silly things like that. As a matter of fact, he crossed a horse with a black widow spider. We don't know what he got, but if it bites, you can ride it to the hospital. Bring to sing now an old folk song. An Irish folk song. It's about a widow washer. A window washer. I got very close brains, you know. This is a very sad story. Sad, it's pitiful. This is about a lover who stabs his girl with a takaluka. A takaluka is a bladeless knife without a handle. That's one of my brothers. Hey, my brother also crossed an ant with a lion. What a picnic that's going to be. Thought I was going to be lousy, didn't you? Huh? Now we would like to present Miss Pat Carroll and the Tom Hansen Dancers.
Coquette, Mademoiselle, and I must admit I like it quite well. It's something to be the darling of all, the grande femme fatale, the belle of the ball. There's nothing as gay as life in Paris. There's no other person I'd rather be. I love what I do, I love what I see. Where is the schoolgirl that used to be me? Ah, the apple tree, where at garden teas jack-o'-lanterns swung, passions of the day, vests of applique, dresses of shantung. Only yesterday, oh, the apple trees and the hybrid bees, where we once got stung. Summers at Bordeaux, rowing up at Tow, where the willow hung, just a dream ago. When the world was young.
Antoinette, we sincerely regret that the people are about to storm the gate. They are starving, they said, 'cause they don't have any bread,
and they can't recall the last time that they ate.
Is there any little statement you could make?
If they ain't got any bread, let 'em eat cake. You naughty, naughty peasants. Life is never what it seems. We're always searching in our dreams to find that little castle in the air. Instead of showing loyalty, you're bugging all the royalty by talking of the things you want to share. What's wrong with our financial distribution? A pauper wasn't meant to be the queen. So cool it with your crazy revolution and put away that silly guillotine. Don't envy the throne or the cash that I own. It's much better by far to be poor as you are. The other man's grass is always greener. The sun shines brighter on the other side. The other man's grass is always greener. Some are lucky, some are not. Just be thankful for what you've got. Even though we love to dine on fancy foods and vintage wines, it doesn't mean we're happier than you. We have to follow every plate with sodium bicarbonate. Believe me, it's no easy thing to do. As I remarked the other day to Louis, I'm sick of every supper that we get. I'd rather go for pizza or chop suey, but neither one has been invented yet. So don't ever feel that my life is ideal. If you dig what I've said, there's no danger of losing my head.
The other man's grass is always greener. The sun shines brighter on the other side. The other man's grass is always greener.
So stop your war, for goodness sake, and I'll cut you a piece of cake.
The other man's grass is always greener. The sun shines brighter on the other side. The other man's grass is always greener. Some are lucky, some are not. We're so thankful for what we've got.
That's all, folks. Now, the silent spot. Red Skelton as the piano tuner.
Red will be back in a minute. Here he is again, Red Skelton.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, starting next week, Liberace will be on at this time every Tuesday night. This is our last program for the season. On behalf of our sponsors and staff, we would like to thank you for inviting us into your homes and for your making our program possible. In a few seconds, you'll see a list of credits of the staff who helped create this show. So we'll say goodbye for now, and may God bless.
As you probably can tell from the frowns on every face, we have reached the final bell and we've got to leave the place.
Red Skelton will be back with you again in September. He hopes you'll be having a happy summer and will be watching The Liberace Show. This is Art Gilmore speaking.
So goodbye.